Hello everyone, Meteorologist Jeremy Baker here on this Friday. Finally Friday, hope everyone having a good day. It is the first day of summer, the summer solstice. I used to have a Pontiac Solstice for a car, so I love the word solstice. But first day of summer, so hopefully you're enjoying the first day of summer. Pretty typical summer weather for us, very seasonable right now, and that's about what we're gonna see for quite a while. Things aren't gonna change a whole lot. This chair is so squeaky. All right, feel free to ask any questions on Facebook. I'll be following along, or say a joke, or whatever you want to say. All right, here's a live look around town. Still got some daylight there, doing this a little earlier than normal. Mostly clear skies at Morgan's Wonderland camps. Downtown looking pretty good too. Also Calaveras Lake and the San Antonio airport. Some gorgeous clouds there. I would say those are some alto cumulus clouds, mid-level cumulus clouds, hanging out in the sky there. Very fair weather cumulus clouds. How about that pollen count? You got any sneezes today? Any sniffles? Using a lot of tissues? Maybe it's because the molds are heavy. The count 1230. When you have a lot of moisture, of course, you're going to get those molds up there. And we've got all that humidity and moisture sticking around. So the molds, unfortunately, they're up there. Hello, Dare Zapata. Howdy to you too. Howdy, partner. And the aquifer got a little help in the past day. It's up a half of a foot to 638.8. So it's nice to see it 10 feet above where it was, say, a couple of weeks ago. So it's looking better. Still, stage 3 watering restrictions are still in effect, but hopefully we'll get a little more rain to help keep that go up. How did the chemist who failed the temperature test get? Wait, how did the chemist who failed the temperature test get? Oh, like, what grade did he get? Score? Absolute 0. I like that one. Did you hear that, Luke?
What was it?
How did the chemist who failed the temperature test get? Absolute 0.
Oh my God.
0 Kelvin.
Well, he liked it. Yeah, that'd be 0 Kelvin. Yeah, 0 Kelvin. Very good. Live studio audience got 0 Kelvin. All right. Right? Yeah.
So I don't understand.
Is that right?
it.
Yeah. What is Kelvin? I forget what the number is, like 273 or something like that. All right. But I know these numbers for sure. San Antonio Airport, it is 85 degrees. Stinson is 89, so it's a hot one out there. A little humid too, or very warm. We'll say very warm. It's kind of nice out there. Doesn't seem too humid outside right now, at least walking back in after going out on break. Southeast winds are at 15, so we've got a bit of a breeze out there too. And the dew point's at 71, so it's up there on the tropical side. So the humidity is up there at 63%. So we have that moisture out there in abundance. Mostly 80s and some 90s out there. George West, though, the lone location in the 70s. Nice, 77. To the north, Junction is 87, Kerrville 84, Fredericksburg 85, San Marcos a pair of 8s at 88. Same story in Seguin, Uvalde 90, 95 in Del Rio, Eagle Pass 91, and 93 for Pearsall and Catula. Gonzales has 86. And here's the radar. Not seeing much in the way of rainfall. You do see here and there some very, very isolated showers. You see them just passing off. They're moving pretty quickly too. You see some mostly in our southern and eastern counties, so closer to the coastal plain is where we have more of that moisture, so we have more of those isolated showers. And that'll be the trend over the next several days because the air mass is not going to change all that much. Very stagnant air mass for the most part. So you'll see a lot of days on the 14-day forecast showing 10 or 20% chances of rain, and that's that isolated, very isolated showers and possible thunder in the late afternoon and early evening. That's really about it, though, for the most part, partly cloudy skies for most of South Texas. Humidity forecast, not much of a forecast. It just stays the same in the upper 60s or lower 70s. So very humid to tropical through the weekend, all the way through the next work week, into the next weekend and the beginning of July. Things are just not going to change very much. Not a very exciting forecast, unfortunately. All right, here's the drought monitor. It comes out every Thursday, so it was out yesterday. Good news is we're kind of chipping away at that drought a little bit. Looks like Bexar County kind of cut in half right now. To the east, extreme drought. To the west, exceptional. The exceptional goes westwards through Hondo, about to Uvalde, and then upwards, northward to the eastern hill country. Outside of that, near Del Rio, still extreme. And then outside of that, severe, including the Austin area, down the I-35 corridor towards our southern counties, and then dry and moderate outside of that. So we are getting that drought slowly smaller and smaller, but we do need a little more rainfall, really a lot, to get rid of it completely. But we'll take it. All right, here's the water vapor imagery. Where you have the oranges, that's where the driest of the air is. And where you have the bright whites and the colors, like the blue and the yellows and the green, that is where most of the moisture is. And you see a lot of that in Mexico. That's associated with what was Hurricane Eric that moved on shore. That moisture is still left over. It's just hanging out. It's really not moving. Really stagnant air mass across most of North America right now, at least from the southern plain states all the way down through Mexico. And it's going to bring some more moisture our way, so that's going to help enhance very slight chances for rainfall over the next several days. But that's about it. Nothing else to talk about on that water vapor. All right, here's the Futurecast. This is the graph model, GRAF. We'll start you out tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Why did the meteorologist break up with the cloud? I guess we'll get an answer soon. We're just going to wait for that. Or do we have to guess maybe? Why did the meteorologist break up with the cloud? I don't know. Hopefully Alex Benitez will tell us. All right, here is the Futurecast. 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. He felt she was too cumulus and clingy. Too cumulus and clingy. Cumulus. I'll have to think about that one. Any hurricanes yet? Juan Marquez Jr. Just that one Eric. Well, we've had 5 named storms in the Pacific. Nothing in the Atlantic yet. Hurricane season officially started June 1st. No named storms yet. All right, so Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., partly to mostly cloudy skies, humid, muggy. Temperatures will start out in the mid to upper 70s for overnight lows tonight and tomorrow morning. And Kim, how's the weather tonight? For the most part, a couple of very, very isolated showers around. Wouldn't even last a couple minutes. Couldn't really even see them very well on the radar. The rest of the night, though, partly cloudy and becoming muggy again. There you go. Next level joke it was. I guess I'm just too slow to get it. Thank you for submitting it, Alex Benitez. Much appreciated. Okay, back to the maps. Partly to mostly cloudy skies tomorrow morning and muggy. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. And then as we head into your Saturday, the rest of the day, mostly sunny by the afternoon. Then we get a few more isolated showers popping up. Best chance, again, our southern and eastern counties. Everyone else, mostly sunny and highs in the low to mid 90s for the most part. Yeah, it is super. It's kind of windy here, too, in San Antonio. It's going to be a little breezy, probably breezy to windy for most of the early part of the overnight. Winds should calm down late in the overnight, though. But it's just breezy conditions. I got to think about that joke and figure it out. Oh, David again. I bought a book titled How to Scam People Online about 3 months ago. It still hasn't arrived. I get that one. All right, moving into your Sunday. We'll start out pretty much just like Saturday. Partly to mostly cloudy skies in the morning and muggy. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Good afternoon, Irene, and good evening, too. So mid to upper 70s to start out your Sunday morning, and then for the rest of the day, mostly sunny, an isolated shower possible. High temperatures again in the lower to middle 90s, and very humid, too. So we're going to have to put up with the humidity for quite a while. It's going to feel closer to 100 with all that humidity, but at least it's not going to be in the triple digits, so that's some good stuff. All right, make sure it's fine. How much rain could we get in the next 7 days? Even with these isolated chances, not all that much. Maybe about 1/10 to 1/4 at best for most of our area. A little more toward the coastal plain, but that's about it. We definitely need a lot more than that to bust away at that drought a little bit more. So tonight we have the partly cloudy skies, very, very isolated shower. And again, if it gets you, it's only going to last for like a minute. Low temperatures dropping through the 80s, overnight lows into the upper 70s. South-southeast winds at 5 to 15, a little breezier though, or gustier, especially in Elmendorf and San Antonio too. Sunset 8:37, so we're a little bit beyond that. Beautiful sky this evening though. And for tomorrow, mostly cloudy in the morning, partly cloudy by the afternoon. Could see that stray shower storm, but very, very stray shower storm. High temperature of 93 tomorrow. And here's the 14-day forecast. So the chance of rain tomorrow, I'm saying, is 20%, down to 10% Sunday. So not as great of a chance, but still not that great either day, really. Monday, partly cloudy and a high of 93. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the last weekend of June. 10% chance of rain each day, a little higher maybe on Tuesday. High temperatures will stay in the low to mid 90s, overnight lows in the mid 70s. And then as we kick off July, including July 4th, partly cloudy skies pretty much every day. And right now we don't have rain chances. We'll wait till it gets a little bit closer. But I wouldn't be surprised if the weather pattern is exactly the same with an isolated shower possible late in the afternoon or evening each day. Highs in the low to mid 90s and lows in the mid 70s. So that's your forecast. Hope you're having a good night. If we don't see you on Ken's 5 News at 10, hopefully have a good weekend. Henry and Isis will have your news, and Vinny Vincetta is in for sports tonight for Nate. So have a good night, everyone. Happy summer. Bye-bye.